we're just taking the wire here, the copper wire, and we're folding over the top of this. All right, now that we've got those straightened out and the hooks pointed to the outside. Hello, welcome to WayPoint Survival. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a 1930s style hobo glass jug canteen. You're going to like it. Stay tuned. All right, for this project, you're going to need a glass bottle. Now, this is a Clorox bottle. Maybe you can see that. It's got it on both sides, and it does have a screw type lid. So you can still find these on eBay and places like that. It has the Clorox logo on the bottom and a nice handle. So that's the first thing you need. The next thing, you want to get a large number 10 can and use a safety can opener on this so it doesn't have any sharp edges, and clean that out real good. You're going to need a wire hanger. And this is the kind that had the cardboard tube on it that you get from the dry cleaners that goes for a pair of pants. And this is actually a really good design, and you'll see why in a little bit. You're also going to need some burlap, and there's no specific length here, and I'll show you what that's for here in a minute. You're also going to want a large nail. You're going to want some wire. This is just soft copper wire, and you're going to need a pair of pliers. All right, for the first part of our project, we'll take the burlap and we're going to fold it. And the reason I'm doing that is just the width of this. I don't know what this is from, if it's from an old sack or a runner, it doesn't matter. But when I fold this over and I compare it to the bottle, it's about the same width as the main body of the bottle. And I want this curve toward the bottom. So where this is folded, I don't want the loose ends at the bottom. I want them toward the top. And that'll make more sense here in a little bit. Next, we get out our copper wire, and this is just soft copper. You can get either the ground wire from wiring. This is just a 14 gauge wire if you want to know the size, and it's about 8 feet long, so a little less than 3 meters. And I just kind of wound it around my hand. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take this bottle and folding this in half and starting up here at the top, around where the handle is, we're going to thread this in around and through the handle. Fold that in a few times to get that started. And then we're just going to wrap the burlap and use this to stitch in and out and around to hold the burlap in place. I'll do that and I'll get back with you. And now, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Tecovas. For over a year and a half, I've worn these Tecovas waterproof mock toe boots. I've chopped wood in the winter, I've walked through mud and water, I've gone on hikes and worn them for everyday footwear. They're still holding up and even more comfortable than the day that I took them out of the box, if that's even possible. However, what Tecovas is known for is their love of Western boots. These boots are the Cartwright style, and just like my other Tecovas boots, they have that soft and broken-in feeling right out of the box. They also carry an amazing line of other clothing options to round out your wardrobe, like this performance long-sleeve Western Pearl snap shirt. It's light, it's breathable, and it fits just right. You can also check out their line of pants, which include great offerings like these lightweight stretch twill jeans, which of course are boot-friendly, and again, the fit is spot on. So if you'd like to get yourself a pair of boots like these, or any of the other great outerwear offerings that they have, including jackets and hats, you can either click on the link in the description box below or scan the QR code that's been showing on your screen. And once again, a big thank you to Tecovas for sponsoring this video. All right, so just to show you what we're doing here, we're just taking the wire here, the copper wire, and we're folding over the top of this, and then just coming down through here like this, and that fold gives the top kind of a nice finished edge so it doesn't fray as easy. Coming around like this, and then just literally trying to keep the kinks out of it, and we're just pulling it around so it gives a kind of a nice finished and sewn looking edge, and we're just sewing it with the copper wire. Once we get all the way around that like that, I'll show you the next step. Next, we take a second piece of burlap and fold it in half as well, and then this will also go in the same way toward the bottom, but this time we're going to cover the bottom with it kind of like this, so that when we wrap it around and pull it nice and tight, we've got a little bit of padding down here at the bottom to protect the base. And where all of these strings are, right here, you can just take and fold that back in on itself and tuck all those strings in, and that's going to give you a little better of a finished edge. And of course, make sure that you try to get all of this as tight as you can. So just like that, again with the finished edge at the bottom. And now we just continue to stitch down and around with our copper wire and finish off the bottom. And I'll do that and get back with you. Before we go too much farther in the video, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to the channel. If you found this channel interesting, if you find the stuff that we share to be informative and things that you want to keep, and remember, my metrics tell me that 61% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. And YouTube's made it a little more difficult lately to get subscribers. Just has to do with the algorithm and the sheer amount of videos that's been pushed. Over 20 million videos loaded today. So if you could go ahead and give that a thumbs up and make sure and subscribe and press that all so you can receive all of our notifications when we upload a new video, we'd sure appreciate it. All right, if you've done it right, it should look something like that. And it should just barely slide in and fit inside of your number 10 can. All right, so that's all well and good. So it can slide in and out fairly easy. You also want to make sure that this is flat enough so that when you put it on a flat surface, the jug's not going to fall over. So make sure when you pack the bottom and stitch it in that it doesn't get wobbly on you. Try to keep that relatively flat. Next, we need to put a couple of holes in our can using this large nail. And this is very easy to do, and you want to do this from the inside and try to avoid any seams if there are any. Again, this isn't a hammer, but you can use it for a hammer like anything else. All right, I'm going to put a couple holes in here and I'll get back with you. All right, once you get those holes punched in there, either side, you can see that. Go ahead, as I've showed you before, and crimp those down using the pliers on both sides. Make sure that it's not sharp. You don't want that to catch on anything when you're carrying it. All right, that's fairly easy to do. You can feel that, and that feels pretty good to my fingers. It catches, but not too much. All right, now we take this wire hanger, and all we're going to do is we're going to bend this out. You can see it's got a little hook already in it. We're literally just bending this straight here. This is a very easy modification. All right, now that we've got those straightened out and the hooks pointed to the outside, we want to go inside the can and attach our hooks, just like that. Then we come to the outside and we want to bend these in like this so they can't come out easily. All right, so just like that. And now we can take our burlap bag and slide it down in here, and it fits. And now we have a handle to carry it, just like this. And we can also pull this out and use the glass handle. All right, so you can see what we have here. We've got our nice handle and a hook to hang it from. We've got the can, this will help protect it. We've got the burlap to protect the glass from breakage, but there's also another use for this. We can literally take this, get it out of here, and we can soak this burlap with water, and that's going to help it to stay cool for a long time. Again, like a lot of the old military canteens, they had felt or wool felt around them that you would soak, and the evaporative cooling would help it stay cool. But we also now have a cook pot. Again, with a hanger, hang over the fire. We can use this to carry water. We can wash dishes in it. It's quite large. We can have this as one part of our gear that we could drink out of, and this to carry it in. It's just super handy. You can take the handle off. It just unhooks and comes out, so it's not a difficult deal if you're trying to pack this in a pack. or you're trying to get up in a train and you just want to swing it up in there and throw your bedroll in after it into the boxcar. But this makes a really handy container, and it's what they did, not only the hobos, but as some of you have said in the comments, on farms and various places over the years, they would have things made like this and bring this out into the field, carry this on the tractor, and it's just a super handy way for you to carry your water if you have to do it in a glass jug. This is James Bender for WayPoint Survival. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also make sure and check out the links in the description box below, just under the More button. While you're down there, you'll find the link for our WayPoint Survival digital class. This is where you can train in the comfort and convenience of your own backyard the top 20 skills that we consider to be the most important from our Phase 1 Survival and Bushcraft class. You'll also find the link where you can sign up for our WayPoint Survival and Prepping 101 newsletter. Absolutely chock full of great ideas, sent to your inbox at least once a week, if not sooner. You're going to love it, and it allows us to stay in touch with you in case something happens to this platform. You'll also find the link to waypointsurvival.com, which is where you can sign up for in-person classes at our beautiful training facility here in Southern Ohio. And no, we don't have railroad tracks on our property, in case you're wondering. However, our classes do end in November. So make sure you look that up, because the classes are winding up, and as they fill up, we only have so many slots available. So we'd be glad to have you. We'd love to meet you in person. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. Our subscribers have been dropping lately, and YouTube just isn't pushing it as they once did. So if you haven't subscribed yet, and over 61% of you that watch these videos aren't subscribed, so make sure and do that. We'd really appreciate it. And when you do subscribe, make sure and press the bell button and select all so that you can be notified of all of our upcoming videos, and we'll talk to you next time.